What's up, boys? It's your boy, E-Money, coming back to you with another video. This time, I'm going to go ahead and break down ARs and SMGs and get you guys a nice loadout and why I run certain attachments on them that I think is really going to go ahead and elevate your game in Warzone. So, let's just get right into it. So, under our loadouts, let's do SMGs first. So, a couple SMGs here. The AUG is pretty good with some attachments. The P90, which I know you use, it's a solid gun. There's some really good attachments for it, but it does lose out to some of the meta guns in terms of versatility and just overall like brokenness. Now that's subject to change because there's going to be an update, weapon balance update coming out tonight or tomorrow, I believe. So this could all change. So this could just be a colossal waste of time, but I got plenty of time right now, so whatever. The MP5 is the best SMG right now. It's just really versatile. It's got it's got solid range, good damage up close. It's just really good. Let's see here. The Uzi, it's okay with some stuff. It doesn't really have any recoil. So that's the nice thing about it. The B-Zone is has a lot of ammo for it, so that's pretty decent for dealing with large groups. The MP7 is like the MP5. Doesn't do as much damage, but it's got low recoil. It's good at range. Just a lot you can do with it. Striker 45 isn't very good, at least not right now. There's some builds that people try, but I wouldn't really use it. And then the Fennec, it's the new SMG in the Battle Pass. You should have it unlocked. It's really good up close. It just burns through ammo super quick. You probably kill maybe one or two guys before needing to reload with the extended mags. That's up to you. But let's go ahead and build an MP5. So let's go ahead and talk. First of all, I want to go into this before I forget. For secondaries, I run a pistol that shares the ammo. So MP5 is 9mm. Let me just explain that. Whatever, it's fine. Just remember, so like something like the M19 or the Renetti share the 9mm ammo with the MP5. And so one thing, none of this matters here. Maybe 15-round mags, but you want the perk fully loaded. So that way, and it gives you max starting ammo. And since they share the same ammo pool, when you pull your SMG from a loadout crate, it's going to have max ammo instead of just like one mag worth. You're going to have a full kit. So that's really good if you're just in a dire situation where you can't resupply or loot anything. I really like it for that. And then you can also drop ammo to your squad if you need to. It's just really useful. But this is about the MP5. So let's go into the gunsmith here. There's a couple things. You can run a mono suppressor. So the mono boosts your range by about like 10%, I think. It also gives you suppression, which is really useful in Warzone. There's a couple other suppressors. Don't use these at all for anything. The tactical suppressor doesn't give you any advantages that the mono does. And the lightweight suppressor reduces your damage range. So I would not use those at all. I don't think anybody else does. Stick to mono. And then barrel, I wouldn't use any of these other barrels. If you want to, you could go ahead and use the monolithic integral. It's pretty decent. Doesn't give you increased range, I don't think, but it does give you better bullet velocity. So shooting people at range, those bullets will hit them faster. Underbarrel, you want the Merc foregrip. It's really good for recoil control and for hip fire accuracy when you're, if you're in a situation where you just can't aim or just don't have the time. The Merc's really good. A couple other things, ammo. Now you can run 10 mil 30 rounders. They do a little bit more damage, but I would stick with the 45 rounders. I just like it for more, more enemies. And let's see here. You would probably want to run an optic. I would just use like a GI mini reflex. Some of these ones like the VLK, the Scout optics, they're supposed to reduce recoil. It doesn't say so, but in some testing it does. I think it just depends on the gun. So, but since it's an SMG, I'm gonna go ahead and throw this reflex on there. And then finally for stock, right now running the collapsible stock or no stock is good because it's going to give you a lot more movement speed, faster ADS. And it's not really going to come with like a ton of penalties. Like the MP5 doesn't really have a lot of recoil. That's just what a lot of people run, but you could probably run something else if you want to run like like a rear grip, or actually, you know what? I like sleight of hand on the MP5, just because it's not the fastest reloading SMG, and if you're running into a lot of guys, you just mow them all down. So there you go. That's a solid MP5 build. Let me go into the P90. So let me go ahead and just flex this weed P90 on you. Now it's a fine gun. It doesn't really come with any ammo upgrades, but it does have a 50 rounder already. So let's just work with that. Muzzle, monolithic, no duh. Now you want the Forge Tack barrel because it's going to reduce recoil. It's going to give you more range, and it's just useful all around. Let's see here. Optic, you'll probably want, if you're not into using iron sights, use the mini or whatever optic you feel comfortable with. Let's see here. Perk, I'd probably use sleight of hand on this just because it does take a little bit to reload this compared to others. And then finally, you could use like this ADS stock, or a couple grips. Maybe a stippled grip if you're having trouble. See, the thing with this is that it doesn't have a grip like the Merc foregrip, which is really good. But if you're finding that you have too much recoil, you can try and throw something like that on there. I think the Forge Tack barrel will fix all those problems. So there you go, solid P90 build. So now let me go ahead and get into ARs. Now there are a lot of good ARs. So the Kilo, solid gun, good all around. Just it doesn't really have any recoil. So if you're having issues with that, I would go ahead and switch to the Kilo. FAL, nah. M4, one of the best guns right now. It always has been. So, and it's got a lot of versatility to it. The FAMAS, no, don't use. Odin, it takes some finesse. It's got a lot of recoil, slow fire rate, high damage. It's kind of like a counter sniper when kitted out right. M13 is really good. It's got high fire rate, low recoil. It's good if you're landing headshots. It's got like a good multiplier for that. Scar, I wouldn't use. It's almost like an Odin, but not as good or something. I don't. AK-47's solid. It just doesn't really have a lot of good handling characteristics. It's slower than other guns. The RAM, people say it's good. I don't really use it. I just don't like its recoil pattern and lack of some of attachments. Grau is, you probably don't have unlocked, but it's the best gun, hands down, especially kitted out the way everybody in Warzone uses. And then you'll probably have this unlocked, the CR56 AMAX. It's one of the best right now. It's just got good damage. It's like an AK, but just better all around. This is what I'm using right now. So let's go ahead and just build an M4 for you. So muzzle, go ahead and throw mono on there. Now the barrel. The longer barrels, now that's what you're going to want to use in Warzone because, you know, you're going to be engaging people from farther away. You want that extended damage range and better bullet velocity and recoil control that these all provide. I wouldn't use any of the short barrels. They're probably better for multiplayer, but even then, everybody's running longer barrels and like no stock right now. So just stick with either the Grenadier or the custom Marksman. I like the Marksman. It's got just barely worse stats than the Grenadier, but I think it looks better. So that's what I use. Underbarrel. Most people run Commando foregrip. These things don't pay attention to these bars. They lie. They don't really like pull from any data or anything that's like in the game. It's always been this way in Call of Duty. It's just there to trick people, I guess. So, and even some of these things like the pros and cons aren't always accurate. So, Commando foregrip is what I see a lot of people use. Though you can use a Merc or a Ranger probably. I'll throw Commando on there. Ammunition. All these are, it's got a lot of versatility. I'd probably stick with like 60 or 50 rounders. Although if you're feeling saucy, you could do a 32 rounder, 9mm, or the like what Nick does, the 458 SOCOM. You just got to make those shots count. So let's just say 60 on here. Now, if you're not feeling like using the iron sights, just go ahead and throw like a VLK on here. That should help with some recoil. We've used up all the slots, but no stock right now is pretty good. I mean, it's actually really good for the benefits you get, but I think that's more for multiplayer. Let's see, rear grip. You could use stippled. Yeah, so you got a lot of options here. There's really no way you can make like a bad M4 if you're using the right barrel and ammo and everything. So, all right, I think that's just about it. And then secondaries, I just use like RPG, or if you need like pistol ammo, just do that. So, all right, I think that just about covers it. Just go ahead and mash that like and subscribe button. And because this video is heavily monetized, and then my affiliate link for Amazon and Walmart is in the description below. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Later.